What is the purpose of temperament evaluations? Every puppy is unique. Even within the same litter raised in the same home, sharing the same parents, nutrition, environment, and early experiences, puppies begin revealing distinct personalities long before they leave for their new home. Some rush eagerly into new situations. Others pause to observe before acting. Some are naturally persistent problem solvers. Others look to people for guidance. None of these differences are inherently good or bad. They are simply different expressions of temperament. Temperament evaluations provide a structured opportunity to observe those individual differences. The purpose is not to identify the best puppy or assign permanent labels. Rather, it helps us understand how each puppy approaches the world, responds to novelty, interacts with people and other dogs, solves problems, copes from stress, and learns from experience. For breeders, these observations provide valuable insight when making placement decisions. Matching a puppy's natural tendencies with the lifestyle, experience, and expectations of its future family increases the likelihood of a successful lifelong partnership. Yet placement is only one benefit. Temperament evaluations also help breeders develop individualized socialization and training plans. A puppy that naturally pauses to assess a situation may benefit from thoughtful encouragement rather than pressure. A highly assertive puppy may thrive when taught impulse control early. A resilient, confident puppy may be ready for more advanced challenges, while a sensitive puppy may require additional positive experiences to build confidence. The evaluation, therefore, becomes more than a placement tool. It becomes a roadmap for development. The most meaningful insights often come from the small details: a brief glance toward the evaluator, a thoughtful pause before crossing an unfamiliar surface, a quick recovery after being startled, or a puppy's persistence when faced with a problem. No single exercise defines a puppy. Instead, patterns emerge as the evaluation unfolds. Confidence, curiosity, persistence, social engagement, resilience, and problem-solving ability reveal themselves repeatedly in different situations. The evaluator's task is to recognize those patterns and build an accurate picture of the puppy as a whole. Finally, it is important to remember that temperament evaluation offers a snapshot in time, not a prediction of destiny. Puppies continue to grow, mature, and change throughout their lives. Genetics, early experiences, training, health, environment, and the relationship they develop with their owners all contribute to the adult dog they eventually become. A thoughtful evaluation does not determine a puppy's future. It simply provides one of the clearest windows into who that puppy is at this stage of development. Our responsibility as the humans, the breeders and owners, is not merely to observe these differences, but to understand them, nurture them, and help each puppy become the very best version of itself. So before we discuss some of the specific exercises and what we look for, it's important to point out that the evaluation is one tool among many. We use it together with weeks of daily observation to help us understand each puppy's emerging temperament and make the best possible match. No puppy scores perfectly in every area, and we wouldn't expect them to. Different responses often reflect different strengths rather than flaws. So why are the evaluations conducted on day 52? Or when the puppy is approximately 7 weeks and 3 days old? Temperament evaluations offer a remarkable opportunity to observe the developing puppy during a brief but meaningful stage of life. Although puppies are still immature at 7 to 8 weeks of age, many aspects of their emerging temperament are already becoming visible. This period represents a balance between curiosity and caution. Puppies have begun exploring the world independently, interacting with littermates, solving simple problems, and forming relationships with people. At the same time, they remain highly adaptable. Their brains are developing rapidly, and each new experience contributes to the adult dog they will eventually become. Because of this, a temperament evaluation should never be viewed as a prediction of a puppy's future. Instead, it provides a carefully observed snapshot of how the puppy responds to the world today. Understanding that distinction is essential. A confident puppy may become even more confident through thoughtful training and positive experiences. Likewise, a naturally cautious puppy can learn resilience when introduced to new situations with patience and encouragement. Conversely, poor socialization or repeated negative experiences can diminish confidence in even the boldest puppy. Temperament is the starting point. Development is the journey. One of the greatest mistakes an evaluator can make is assuming that every puppy should respond the same way. Some puppies rush confidently toward every new experience. Others pause, observe, gather information, and then proceed thoughtfully. Neither response is inherently better. In many situations, the cautious observer may prove to be just as confident as the bold explorer, simply expressing confidence differently. As you watch some of the outtakes of the evaluations that follow, you will encounter puppies that display a wide variety of approaches to novelty, people, objects, sounds, and challenges. The evaluator's responsibility is not to decide which style is correct, but to recognize each puppy's natural approach and consider how that information can guide future training and placement. Another important principle is that puppies are dynamic learners. They are constantly adapting to their environment. A puppy that hesitates during the first exercise may become increasingly confident as the evaluation progresses. Another may begin with great enthusiasm but tire as the session continues. These changes are valuable observations in themselves. For this reason, experienced evaluators look for patterns rather than isolated moments. They observe how a puppy recovers from surprise, whether curiosity overcomes hesitation, how long engagement is maintained, and whether confidence grows or diminishes throughout the session. The developing puppy is continually communicating, sometimes loudly, sometimes quietly. Our task is simply to learn how to listen.
You've got temperament. Unique. Let me think about it. Every puppy's born with little gifts to share. Different ways of thinking, different ways to care. One might charge the tunnel, one might stop and see. Every tiny difference builds who they'll grow to be. Some are bold and curious, some are calm and wise. Some will study every leaf beneath the morning skies. None of them are better, everyone can shine. When we understand them, they'll be simply divine. You got temperament, yes indeed. A heart, a mind, a different speed. Read the puppy, don't compare. Meet them gently where they are. Build their confidence each day. Guide them in a thoughtful way. Love them for the dog they are. That's what makes a superstar. One may love adventures, one prefers your lap. One needs just a little time before the world's a snap. Some are quick to problem solve, some adore a game. Learning how they learn is never quite the same. It's not about perfection or getting 10 out of 10. It's discovering together how to help your very best friend. You got temperament, can't you see? It's your puppy's biography. Not a label, not a grade, just the way they're naturally made. With good guidance, patient hearts, training's where the journey starts. Celebrate what makes them true. There's no other one like you. So watch with curiosity, train with love and consistency. Every puppy has a story to unfold. Read the dog that's right before you, and you'll discover treasure more than gold.
So our first activity is behavior upon entry, which begins the moment the puppy enters the testing area. And notice that the evaluator is not offering a toy, luring the puppy with a toy, using her voice to provide encouragement. She's just sitting quietly, and we are observing how the puppy responds to an unfamiliar environment. Does the puppy immediately begin exploring? Where is the puppy looking at first? Does the puppy pause to gather information? Does the puppy orient toward the evaluator? And how quickly? Does the puppy immediately investigate the environment or stay connected to the breeder? Does the puppy stand quietly, move with confidence, look for a way out? Does the puppy remain where it was placed? Does it move with purpose or uncertainty? Does it pause before acting? Does it recover quickly if initially hesitant? Does it check back with a breeder? Does curiosity increase as the seconds pass? So sometimes the most meaningful observation is not what the puppy does, but how it chooses to do it. Some puppies gather information before acting, thinks before acting. Others act while gathering information, acts then thinks. Neither approach necessarily reflects greater or lesser confidence. And that's important to avoid interpreting the behavior too quickly. We just need to observe first and then interpret later. A puppy that quietly pauses for several seconds may not be fearful at all. It may simply be processing a great deal of new information before making a decision. So those few seconds deserve our attention. So let's evaluate and observe Luna's entry. This is Luna. Behavior upon entry. Hello, Luna. Oh, that's pretty good. Good job. I like your dress. Oh, train. That's fun. This is great. Yeah, that's great. You can pet her. You can pet her. Oh, really good. Okay, let me write this down. Just her name. Luna. And initial responses looking at her, she's thoughtful at the beginning, very curious, investigative, confident, happy, social, environmentally focused, and also people focused. I would say that her initial response was thoughtful and observant, and her primary focus was environmentally focused. However, that was a very nice, strong people focus when it was time. So we're also examining the puppy's greeting of the evaluator and the human engagement. And what is the puppy's natural response to a stranger, to an unfamiliar person? And how willing is the puppy to engage socially? Does the puppy initiate the contact? Does it approach confidently? Does it circle before engaging? Does the puppy seek eye contact? Does it solicit affection? Does it climb into the evaluator's lap? Does it briefly investigate before returning to the environment? Does it remain independent? Does curiosity increase over time? With Luna, I thought it was a very confident and happy and secure interaction. She first looked back at the breeder, then sniffed a few things en route. But then, interestingly, she went right to the hands, didn't sniff the foot or the shoe first. She's curious, social, approached pretty readily, gentle, playful. Her little tail was wagging. She's environmentally focused, but I wouldn't say that's easily distracted. It's just, being curious, investigating. Her approach style was pretty immediate and confident. There was a thoughtful pause at first, but it wasn't long, and the engagement was sustained actually pretty long. Interacting, lots of eye contact, so substantial engagement, confident approach, very comfortable, and but I do think the puppy prefers investigating the environment, especially the oysters once she found them. This is Captain. Captain. He had little white claws still there, and he had white off on his chest. He's not in the camera frame here, but he's just quietly studying her, um, thoughtfully sizing up the situation. And I think it's pretty huge that he sniffed the smoked oysters, but then left that to go sniff her. I think that's telling, because those smoked oysters smelled really bad, really strong. And he goes right to the toy and engages all by himself, picks it up. So now he goes back and sniffs her. So he's left the food, the scent, and he's left the toy to also go back and check in with her. Now he's seeking out her attention. Pet me. She said sometimes they do that if they're nervous, so they seek comfort with an item. I'll stop talking. He's so soft. Artie, Miss Artie. So the smoked oysters are a little different story with Artie. He's not wanting to leave that. And I think it's just because he really wants it. Now, he is the third one in. He might be a little hungrier. But, And then he had a pee-pee accident. So it just wasn't a true telling. He was at a little disadvantage because they've been waiting in the office, in the pen with the litter box, but they were sleeping. And of course, what is the first thing that a puppy does when they wake up? They pee-pee. So that's not his fault. He's a puppy. So now, with the removal of the distraction of the oysters and the full bladder, we now see him approach the evaluator. And that was pretty huge. He accepted a pet over the head and his tail's wagging. So I think we're going to start calling him Austin Powers because he had 2 more pee-pee accidents within the course of the evaluation. Bless his little heart. Mooney. This is Mooney.
This is the tiniest little panini. He's just so tiny.
A panini.
first, but we didn't have the oyster stuff in here. And also I smell like pee.
And oysters. I think you were having a little oyster juice too.
So yes, that was handler error. I forgot to put the oysters back in. And you're supposed to be as consistent as possible, with each evaluation.
And that
But
actually is good for puppies.
All right, eye contact pretty quickly.
Good. He's so pretty.
Yeah, he's looking at me and talking to me. He's not as bossy as ours bossy.
I mean,
Listen, you already making excuses.
I know, but normally she's like the first one to try things.
What's the orange thing on her back?
Markers. I can tell them apart. Fingernail polish.
That's fat.
Mm.
This is fabulous. That's fabulous.
See what I mean?
Yes, that's my fault. Do you like my pedicure? You don't like the color? Kind of goes with your color.
Might even be the same one.
Don't fight me. I don't want to yell at you. I don't want to yell at you.
I love the way she thinks, and I love. I'll be curious what they say tomorrow. Look at that eye contact. Did she make it full? It was just the nose contact.
so for some reason, the star in Temperament, I believe, Chris, just didn't feel well this day. I think she had a little tummy ache. She went and saw the vet the very next day for, their first rounds of vaccinations. Totally healthy, totally fine. So we just didn't really do much with the evaluation for her. Really, this is just a snapshot in time. One dog may seem slow and lethargic one day, and the very next day, he's the life of the party. It could be because it was later in the day, and by now it's several hours in, and she was the last one. She could be hungry. So that could have been a factor. But at any rate, I really base all of these evaluations not just on this one snapshot of these few minutes, this one day. So I will write up an evaluation of her based upon all the weeks. So the next activity is toy play, the chase and tug, the first time. And play is one of the first conversations a puppy has with the world. And this exercise provides insight into their motivation for play, visual tracking, object engagement, persistence, toy possession, activity focus, and human engagement as well. We're not really measuring the athletic ability, but rather how readily the puppy notices, pursues, captures, and values the toy, and how easily they are motivated by objects versus human interaction. What we're going to be watching for is notice and tracking. Does the puppy spot the toy immediately and follow the movement visually? Engagement and grip. Do they chase without hesitation? Do they use a confident full mouth grip or a tentative front tooth nibble? Drive and persistence, do they pull against the gentle resistance and maintain focus if the toy changes direction or distractions occur? And then after they release, when the evaluator drops the toy, does the puppy continue playing, carry it away, guard it, chew independently, or immediately lose interest and walk away? What does the puppy choose to do once the human interaction and movement disappear? So, let's see what Luna is about. So it was pretty huge here that she was able to be redirected and switch between desires from a very strong-smelling smoked oysters. So that indicates a nice play desire. She noticed the toy. There was no hesitation, no intimidation toward the movement.
obviously, food reward is going to be easier for her until you build the toy. I would say that she tugged, but it wasn't a strong tug. She engaged, but distractions arose. I would say that she was curious, investigative, chases, doesn't carry or mouth too much, shake. She invites interaction. But she is independent. She's gentle. She's highly persistent with the food, but not the toy. Easily distracted. As far as the interest and grip, I would say just gentle front tooth. Persistence, moderate. Drive profile, I would say moderate.
So yes, I do think that first girl would be a great agility dog for two reasons. One is she's handler focused, so she be easily trained. She's real biddable. And second of all, she's not afraid of the obstacles, so she'll climb on whatever she has to climb on and get into things. He's not afraid of any
She said her boy that she can't compete with is too clingy to her, so he won't go away. He's just
Yeah, so you want them to, my Alfie is too handler focused, and so we don't make as good a time as we could if he was more, he was pay attention to his line and just do his line until I tell him otherwise. The thing is about these little guys though, I don't know if that's as much of a deal because everybody can run as fast as the little dogs, basically. So, this is wonderful. Look at this tug.
yeah,
Look at this tug.
yeah.
This is definitely, he's very toy focused.
And he's coming alive. He said he's slow like Lily. And what's Lily?
He wasn't afraid. He was just curious about things besides me.
And that John Belushi move they make, oh my God. They don't have puppy breath anymore. Maybe the little girl does.
So now I'm getting eye contact
He doesn't
because
like
he
that.
wants me to play a tug with him.
That tape, okay. This is so much fun.
See, now, he's no.
So see,
If I knew we were going to be so messy, I could have brought Winston. You'd be impressed. He could walk.
respectful. I didn't realize it was a pee party. Okay, so
He is toy driven.
does he retrieve?
Look, I haven't tried that yet. We're
And
still
you can
getting-
try the paper thing, but they all seem to like this rope. It was fine, so it's, who knows?
Oh, she's got.
A little sleepy.
Look at that. Say I'm the best one on the tree.
Actually, the best one's the last one we haven't done
Yeah.
yet. I don't know if, they're both great, but I really like the other one because she makes more eye contact. That's a thing for me.
I get it. Can be taught though.
Yeah, yeah. But no, these are great because they tell me how to direct the training sessions, right? I think that's why I think they're invaluable.
really is.
Did Jeff tell you about that?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I didn't see it. I saw the hole. They did a good job. You can't even tell where it was.
I'm glad it didn't hit the piano.
That's a miracle. It was just like, so something leaked up there. Oh, I missed it.
We're right below the kitchen,
Oh, that's what it was.
and one of the drains had a clog, and when they were fixing it, it backed up, burst the pipe, and
Water is powerful stuff, man. See that? Is she still making eye contact yet, or is it just the nose? You know what I mean?
I wasn't observant enough.
Yeah, no.
she's so dark.
So, cause some of the really smart ones, that doesn't mean she'll stay that way though. She's probably gonna be.
Is she the tiny one?
Yeah, they're both of the two girls are the same size now.
So the next activity is retrieve the first time. And it's not about bringing the toy back. It's about discovering what the puppy chooses to do next. Retrieving is really a sequence of choices. The puppy's asking, will I chase it? Should I pick it up? Now what? Return? Keep it? Or play? So every single choice the puppy makes tells part of the story. Some puppies retrieve out of a deep desire to partner with a handler, while others retrieve for the sheer joy of possessing the object. But each motivation is valuable in figuring out what motivates this puppy. And so when the puppy races out, we're going to be looking to see, does it run directly to the object with high focus, or does it hesitate? Does it walk slowly or ignore the throw? And then with a pickup, does the puppy scoop the object up confidently in its mouth, inspect, sniff it, or does the puppy pick it up and immediately drop it? Does the puppy just go and sniff it? And then the return and possession, does the puppy turn and run straight back to the evaluator, hand it to the evaluator, or does the puppy proudly parade around the room? Does the puppy play keep away? Does the puppy carry it to a corner to chew independently, or does the puppy abandon it just altogether midway? So we'll be looking to see those characteristics as we observe our next puppy, Luna.
I'm sorry. I usually just put liverwurst in.
Oh no, mommy's mean. Yes, there we go.
Sorry, I'm gonna get in here. You think she'll retrieve that ball if you toss it a couple of inches here?
She's got the toy.
Oh, you got it off. You smart thing. Okay, in her mouth. That's huge for a puppy. Let's see if she'll bring it back to you. I doubt it, but if you threw that.
She knows
What
this
is
is the toy.
Yeah, let's play with it.
She's like a little mouse.
I'd rather, personally, I don't like the paper because I don't want to chew the paper. She's so cute how she prances. Oh. Don't talk. I think she's kind of got it all. Okay. So for a pug, that was good. So now we do a second time.
Oh, look at this. She is fearless.
See, I thought she was thoughtful.
Well, her first experience was to make sure she checked out everything.
Resilience and fatigue.
Then she was like, everything's okay. I'm just gonna play.
I think high stamina. Okay, well, so let's do the follow this, the contract gets longer and longer.
Yeah. People disappoint you. All right, now he is very engaged with me.
So he never caught it though, the
No.
paper, when you go after it? And
Yes.
bring it back? Oh my God.
I think
That's a
he's
full
even gonna bring it.
retrieve.
He's gonna bring
That's
it
a
back.
full
He brought
retrieve.
it back to
Oh
me. It's a
my
full
God.
retrieve. Which means he knows that I'm part of this game. Look, I'm acting like I know what I'm talking about.
No, you do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a good insight.
I see things, but I'm not like those two. Those two are amazing.
Yeah, it was when he shut down after rally and did the sit strike in Atlanta. And so I retrained for a year, and I went to her, and she pointed out a whole lot of things I was doing wrong.
Kathy, for Lucas?
Yeah. Just one session, but
She's got it on.
yeah,
She's a natural
I
doctor.
liked that. And
I'll be sitting with her this Friday
oh, cool.
and Saturday.
I'm glad she's doing well. Okay.
She's still doing agility. She's in a wheelchair now.
She can.
Oh, much eye contact. Much. He loves to look at me. And he's talking to me. What are you talking about? You're the best one. You're the best one. The others were the best ones too.
Tug, reading, griller. So we're gonna do the prepare obstacle course. Translation.
I would like to think so.
Don't you love her though?
And she ended up being the perfect size.
And get it retreated.
But I don't think she has the.
She went to the toy. She engaged with it. She celebrated, but she didn't bring it back to me. And to have a structure.
So I'm not gonna tap into that. You know, I talked to Nikki about it, and
I think the betterment of the.
maybe it's not worth it. I like her.
I like
Okay, so what did we not do? We didn't do.
So the next activity was to follow the stranger. Some puppies follow because they're curious, others follow because they trust. And so we've really got to look carefully. Following the stranger evaluates a puppy's willingness to leave a familiar handler or known territory to accompany an unfamiliar person into new space. So unlike the stationary greeting test we just did, this exercise requires the puppy to make an active choice. Leave its safe harbor and follow the stranger or stay behind. It reveals baseline confidence, biddability, social attraction to humans, and independence. So it's a delicate balance between social attraction and independent exploration. A puppy that's glued to your heels may be deeply social or simply hesitant to explore on their own. A puppy who pauses to check out a shadow en route or a piano to catching up with you shows a lovely mix of curiosity and resilience. And you want to look at how this choice connects with the rest of their evaluation to really understand the full story. So what we're going to be watching for is the initial reaction. Does the puppy immediately trail the evaluator, hesitation-free, or does the puppy look back at the breeder for reassurance or look off at something else more interesting? Two is the body language of the puppy. Is the puppy's tail held relaxed or wagging, or nice up high on the back, confident following, or is the puppy's body lowered just a little bit, crouching to the ground, maybe with the tail loose or even tucked down? Then three, proximity and focus. Does the puppy stay right at the evaluator's heels or follow at a safe distance from a few feet away? Or does the puppy wander off to investigate lint or floor scents? For independence versus attachment, does a pause to inspect the room reflect healthy environmental curiosity? Oh, a grand piano. Or total indifference to the human connection? All right, so initial choice is Luna immediate trail, brief hesitation, checked with the breeder, or just refused to move?
Totally engaged.
Yeah. So her initial reaction, she immediately trailed the evaluator, hesitation-free, never looked back at me for reassurance, really engaged, a lot of drive, excitement. You know, she's hopping along, running, proximity, pretty close to the heels actually, and yes, she does explore, but she can re-engage.
Yeah.
Well done, yay! Okay. Interesting. So with Captain's case, it was a little bit of another handler error. I asked her to scoot her feet, to entice him, and it made a squeaky noise of the shoes. Before that happened, milliseconds before, he seemed to be eagerly following her, and then immediately he stopped with that noise. So that was a new noise for him. And then it was harder to get him interested in it after that. So I think it was not that he wasn't interested in the handler as much as it was that he was a little leery of those shoes.
For something, is he looking for little piggy box? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, that's just not a thing.
Okay. Now, this is Artie, and what's interesting is he was having a grand old time at week 7 and 3 days. And, he's happy. It's pretty enthusiastic, pretty good follow. She's walking really fast and, checking out the environment, bold. Now, what's funny, though, is just a few days later, at 8 weeks, you can start a fear phase. And so he's 8 weeks and 3 days. He won't follow at all when we're trying to do the puppy ping pong and get some movement videos. Now, he hit all of his fear phases like at 5 weeks sooner than anybody else. He was the first out, first whelped, first born, and he's larger than the others. He's about the same size as Mooney, but he... It's interesting, though, so the fear phase can affect how they react to different things. And again, that's why it's so important not to base an evaluation on this one snapshot in time. So this is Mooney. Sometimes he's a little thoughtful, doesn't like to try things, but he's following really well. He's very people-oriented. And it was a confident walk at first, till he heard her noise of the shoe. But then he would re-engage. So that was pretty confident follow. Scent line.
So there's only been one so far that didn't want to follow me.
And it might be because I told you to shuffle your feet. Because he was following you and then he stopped when it squeaked. Oh, no, just a little independent.
Yeah, she's definitely, I love her.
I know.
I just think she's great.
Her or the pink girl that you'll see next. I think her temperament-wise, I don't know. And a lot of things.
Well, I love them all.
Next activity is actually preparing the obstacle course. So we'll be looking for sight and sound recovery. So what happens when an object clangs or a tarp is shaken? Does the puppy startle briefly and recover instantly, or does the puppy flinch and retreat, or does the puppy ignore the sound entirely? Then proactive investigation, does the puppy march right over to inspect the item that was just set down the moment it touches the floor, or does it keep a self-protective distance? And then patience and engagement, does the puppy watch attentively and follow the person setting the items down, or become anxious, cry, and hover? So we're going to be looking for the initial reaction, immediate curiosity. Did they watch attentively? Was there a brief startle but a quick recovery? Or did they flee and cower? We're going to be looking at constructive behavior. Did they inspect the items instantly or watch from a distance? Did they follow all along as the items are being set down? Did they ignore the setup entirely? Walk across moving equipment? Did they hover or seek out for comfort or attention? And then the sound and sight recovery, were they unfazed, ignore the clatter? Were they mildly curious, and or did they startle, then approach the item, or were they tense with a slow recovery? Okay, so this is Luna with the setting up the obstacle course. She was unfazed. She went right over and inspected the items. She's a bold explorer. balanced adaptability, somewhere in between the two, or bold, actually, in this case. She treated the whole construction process like an exciting game and ignored the loud bang, walked right over to the equipment, and I would say that's an ideal placement for a strong candidate for active sports, agility, therapy, or high-traffic homes, with kids requiring high environmental stability.
I think you just did the loud noise thing.
Sorry, I just, you turned around. It's the recovery that you're after and you didn't find.
Immediate recovery.
Okay, so,
Although I think I would make a note of the fact that to recover, he leaned toward me.
interesting,
He
yeah.
went to me for support.
Yeah, sometimes they'll go and sniff it after it, like the bold ones.
Yeah.
You know what we never put in here? Oh, we know they like food, they're pugs. No? Oh, I need food. I'll get it for you. Eat food. Not even face. Nothing. Just put that in.
We moved right on to the obstacle course, and we start out at first with the food lure. There's two parts to this, but an obstacle does not reveal whether a puppy can climb or how athletic it is. It reveals how a puppy approaches a challenge. So it evaluates the puppy's biddability, the self-confidence, problem-solving ability, environmental resilience when encountering unstable surfaces or strange textures and novel physical challenges. So first, we do it with a food lure, and obviously, she is totally bold. Nothing is fazing her, and very excited. We all already know that she loves food. And then the buildability, handler focus, very good. Confidence, body awareness, actually, very good. Intrinsic curiosity, strong. She's not environmentally shy. Problem solving, recovery rate, yeah. There she goes. Yeah, so that does good too. Footing confidence. Do they step onto unstable items with a flat, confident paw? Yes. She does not tentatively test with one toe and back away. She just goes for it. The lure, the focus versus stress. Does the food lock her focus tightly and override mild worry? Yes. I don't even think she noticed the obstacles under. Body language, look for those loose wagging tails and forward-leaning posture. She has none of that. Hunched backs, no lip licking, no signs of environmental stress. And now with the stage 2, she tries to lure with just her hand without the food. I mean, look at that recovery from that, falling off that. Okay, so the lap is a obstacle too. Again, she's still confident. So without the food, I think she would like to have the food, but she's following the hand. Of course, now she wants the food. But yeah, strong, confident body language, boldly crosses over everything, follows the handler, loops around the obstacles. Yeah, no, she goes right across. She doesn't avoid them. Bold little puppy. So while Luna is more an act before thinking, Captain is more of a think before acting in general. And in this case at least. So he's a little more tentative. But I think, he's still following it. Just a little more cautious. But he's doing it. There's been times when there's been puppies that wouldn't even go across a little folded pool noodle. So I think pretty consistently they all enjoyed the obstacle course. And that's a pretty scary totter there, that wobble board they've never done before. And like another thoughtful pug we had, Lily, and you can watch her temperament evaluation from 2018.
she gains confidence as it goes on, more courage. And she actually ended up being a really good obedience pug, and she's my superstar go-to for tricks when I need someone to do something and learn it fast.
When he walks, he has a beautiful gait, a trot. He's already got a curl in his tail. It takes their tail a while to curl sometimes.
Oh, he's still able to be attracted to the toy.
Even with food. But yeah, I would say, usually it's food, play, retrieve with a pug. But I don't know. In rating desires, I don't know. He loved the play. And they are hungry now. It's time for lunch, so it's not. Maybe if you had a food there and then redirect with a toy and see how he switches from. That's one of the things I left out of the test was switching between.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he might be play, food, retrieve. Although he's an old busted for retrieve, but he loves
I
that.
think play outranks
Play,
food.
yeah.
Food outranks
I think so
play
too. Yeah.
for her.
Yeah, that's a captain. Okay. Oh, yeah. I was just making sure I got the right on. I didn't want to write that one. I'm surprised none of them have peed on that bag yet, because that is the kind of texture they always like. Okay. Well, so like that. Yeah. That would make sense for him too.
I think he has big feelings. I think he feels things. Like,
That 5-week fear phase, I accidentally knocked the remote control off, so it wasn't even that loud. And he backed all the way back up the developing box, which is a big one.
Here we go. Look at this. Here we go.
Yay.
Here we go. So,
We're doing good.
after being careful, after discovering what he was able to do it.
Okay, that's great.
They're all great, you said. It's just different.
I know. You gotta keep stop on that.
I'm going there. I'm going there. Where? Look, you're getting the information you need.
Yeah,
You know what you're saying.
I'm not like those obedience people.
You know what you're saying.
Oh, they're so rigid sometimes.
I have a story to tell you at dinner time.
Okay.
Follow the treat. Follow the treat onto the scary.
Cindy's helping me. I get a novice tricks tile with all the puppies before they go.
Before they go.
Yeah, it makes me train them and it helps. And I think it's nice, right? And that might get them excited about doing AKC things. But she
Before they go,
evaluates.
they can do 10 tricks.
Yeah. Oh, easy. Novice is easy. Right there's paws up. Or get on. But Cindy is Roberts, and she was never a severe from the BOTC days. And I loved Bob.
Look at that, Mom.
Thursday rally class was my favorite day of the week.
I love rally. It's fun.
Do they have classes in town, or you have to pay a lot? No. No, I don't know.
We just need to study the signs.
I just liked it made me do it.
But he's not afraid of that.
He's a lot bolder than I thought he was going to be.
He's very bold. He's hungry.
Oh. He's not even noticing it. So we never did the push-ups. Lure that. I'm sure he'll probably do it for
I
now.
wanted to see if he
Oh, we haven't done the skateboard yet.
didn't like the skateboard. Here.
Want me to roll it over?
Tell him. You
That
can
might-
tell him for you to do the skateboard.
It's yoga, it's puppy yoga class. They have that, I contacted them. Wouldn't that be fun? And then Artie could go and pee on everybody when they're in the doggy down position.
All right. Nobody has had trouble with the obstacle course.
Reading the evaluator. Interest and grip. Does she tuck? Good, right? Yeah. Full mouth. All of them have good. Well, no, the first one didn't tug.
Look at that, look at this. Totally under focus. No worries. Okay, we're gonna do the thingy where she sits, what do you call it, push-ups?
Push-ups, yeah. Luring, I don't know. It counts. So the next exercise was the disconnect. And the purpose of this is to allow the evaluator to observe how the puppy responds when human interaction suddenly ceases. Rather than asking the puppy to perform a task, this exercise evaluates the puppy's natural ability to transition from engagement to independence. And it provides insight into emotional regulation, confidence, recovery, curiosity, and self-directed behavior. So every interaction has two parts, the coming together and the moving apart. And many evaluations focus on how eagerly a puppy engages, but the disconnect exercise reminds us to observe something equally important, which is how comfortably the puppy separates. Confident puppies often transition naturally between social interaction and independent exploration. Others prefer to maintain close contact with people. Neither response is inherently right or wrong, but the value lies in understanding the puppy's natural rhythm and recognizing that healthy confidence often includes both connection and independence. So we're going to be looking for whether the puppy continues to explore around the pen independently. Does the puppy look back at the evaluator? Does the puppy attempt to re-engage, get the evaluator's attention? Does the puppy recover quickly from interaction when it ends? When the interaction ends, does the puppy become uncertain or hesitant? Does the puppy occupy itself appropriately? Does it wait calmly? Does it appear distressed? Does it transition naturally to another activity? So some examples, like if it briefly checks back but then resumes exploring, or does the puppy continue investigating the environment? Is the puppy returning a lot to the evaluator to seek interaction? Is it sitting quietly and observing? Is the puppy becoming momentarily uncertain before recovering? Does the puppy wander confidently throughout the area? So a puppy that continues exploring independently is not necessarily less social. It's just a puppy that immediately returns to the evaluator is not necessarily insecure. That's important to remember. So instead, consider how the puppy balances independence with social connection throughout the entire evaluation. So this exercise is most meaningful when interpreted alongside the greeting, following the stranger, the breeder recall, and other exercises. But it tests traits of independence, confidence, recovery, human social attraction, emotional regulation. So with Luna, she's like, "Hey, what you doing?" And we are talking to each other and ignoring her. So she immediately goes off and is like, "Okay, well, why, are we going to do anything?" And she checks in, but a little bit frenzied. You would think that's bold, but sometimes you seek comfort through environmental objects. Don't think that's the case here. I think she's just curious, but might be a little bit just by her mannerisms. But overall, I think the primary trait is human social attraction, yes, but she's fairly confident, and I would say she's moderate.
Into the pound and set them for the man who feeds the dogs, and tie them up in the backyard. you know, whatever is the right.
I think so too.
That makes them to be able to jump
Strong.
in and
And
strong.
not get injured.
Is, you know, like if that's supposed to be, whatever's supposed to, an angle's
Strong
supposed to be
tires.
straight, structure, yeah.
Strong pasterns is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know any of those things.
Well, you know, when they're down on the pasterns, that she's got strong pasterns, but she's just small.
That has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I know. That's what Nikki's gonna say. So I'm curious what she'll say. I think Nikki's working tomorrow. She's supportive, so she's in here.
Today's Tuesday, she should be working tomorrow.
So the next exercise is hand shyness. This is a tough one for pugs generally. Not always, but generally. The overhead reach evaluates a puppy's reaction to a classic physical and visual pressure point. So a human standing tall and then reaching directly over their head. Pugs are visually sensitive to looming shapes. So this exercise specifically measures potential hand shyness, visual startle response, body tension, recovery rate, and general confidence. So the thing is, life is full of unexpected moments. You know, an object drops, a bird passes over, a child raises his arms. So the overhead reach exercise is not intended to determine whether a puppy startles. You know, nearly every living creature notices unexpected movement, but instead to observe what happens next. So does the puppy gather information and move on? Does curiosity replace uncertainty? Does confidence return naturally? So the micro expressions that we're going to be looking for in body shifts, the moment the hand goes over the head, does the puppy drop their head, duck away, tilt their snout down, squint, blink heavily, or show whale eye? Or do they look up with calm curiosity? In the body carriage, does the puppy flinch, tense its shoulder muscles, drop back, crouch, drop their tail, or flatten their ears? And acceptance and recovery, does the puppy lean into the touch after the evaluator then strokes and pets it? Or does it stay loose and relaxed? Or quickly resume normal exploration around the room the moment the pet stops? So these clips with the puppies on the green and purple mats are from our first litter that we ever bred. And I just got to say that every single puppy in this litter, Artemis litter, they weren't phased at all. So we have worked on it some. Could be part temperament also. Just that we need to expect this. And if they did react, it was small and they recovered immediately and tail stayed up the whole time, and then they approached the evaluator.
She'd be good for agility. That first girl would be really good for agility.
We'll see how she grows out. Okay. All right.
Don't know what.
So the next exercise, the cookie tin drop, it evaluates a puppy's response to a sudden, unexpected auditory stimulus. It provides vital insight into sound sensitivity, initial startle response, mental resilience, recovery speed, and environmental curiosity. Now, unexpected noises are it's an inevitable part of life in any home. But rather than testing whether a puppy reacts, nearly every animal is going to notice a sudden noise, unless they're deaf. This exercise measures how quickly their nervous system settles and whether curiosity replaces uncertainty.
I usually just have this little one, but I couldn't find it. Too long. And the one I have normally is just coins, like your European coins in a little tin, but I couldn't find it.
Ooh. Quick recovery.
So the next test we did was the umbrella test, the sight sensitivity test. And the purpose of this is to evaluate a puppy's reaction to a sudden, unexpected visual stimulus and sudden spatial expansion. So unlike the cookie tin, which introduces a sharp sound, the opening umbrella presents sudden motion, a shifting shadow, and an unusual expanding shape. This exercise provides vital insight into sight sensitivity, visual startle response, spatial courage, and autonomous recovery. As with every exercise in this evaluation, the initial visual shock is only part of the story. How long does it take the puppy to process the surprise, settle their body posture, and choose to investigate the stationary umbrella on their own? An umbrella presenting itself is simply another question for a puppy to answer. For one puppy, a sudden expanding shape is a reason to pause and gather information. For another, it is an invitation to investigate immediately. For still another, it quickly becomes a new, fun toy to explore. The umbrella itself tells us very little. The puppy's self-directed choice and how gracefully curiosity replaces uncertainty tells us far more.
The next exercise was the toe pinch and forgiveness, which evaluates two critical characteristics. First, touch sensitivity or tactile threshold, which is the amount of physical pressure a puppy tolerates before acknowledging discomfort. Second, forgiveness and social resilience, which is the puppy's willingness to let go of a negative experience and immediately reconnect with the human evaluator. The goal is not to measure how much pain a puppy can endure. Every puppy eventually reaches a threshold. Rather, this exercise reveals how the puppy communicates discomfort when they communicate it, and how graceful they restore trust once the pressure ends. After the toe pinch, the second toy, play and retrieve, teaches us something new. While toy play 1 and retrieve evaluated the puppy when well rested, the second presentation measures stamina, resilience, and fatigue recovery period performed after the puppy has processed stimuli, body sensitivity handling, and social pressure. This exercise reveals whether the puppy's drive holds up under mental and physical fatigue, or if their motivation drops off once tired. The true measure of a puppy's drive isn't just what they do when they are fresh. It's how much heart they bring to the game when they are tired. A puppy who maintains drive after a long sequence of tasks is revealing a rare depth of stamina and resilience. Conversely, watching a puppy drop off gives us the exact roadmap we need to ensure their future owner builds confidence gently without overwhelming them. So how do we successfully match puppies to humans? The best match is not the puppy with the highest score. It is the puppy whose temperament complements the life it will live. Temperament evaluations are not about finding perfect puppies. They're about creating thoughtful partnerships. The best matches often occur when a puppy's natural tendencies complement the owner's personality and expectations. For example, a highly people-oriented puppy may thrive with an owner who enjoys daily training and close companionship. A thoughtful, independent puppy may appreciate a patient owner who allows time to investigate new situations. An energetic, toy-driven puppy may flourish in an active home that enjoys games, sports, or outdoor adventures. A calmer puppy may become a wonderful companion for a quieter household. The goal is not to change either the puppy or the owner. The goal is to recognize where they naturally fit together. The happiest placements are rarely accidents. They grow from careful observation, honest conversations, and thoughtful matching. When puppy and family complement one another, both become better together. One reason it takes so long for us to place the puppies is because we examine and observe how they develop after the evaluations. We rewatch videos looking for small details we might have missed. We watch every new encounter and interaction as they socialize. We ask, what brings this puppy joy? What motivates this puppy most naturally? What type of owner will appreciate those qualities? Which family will understand this puppy's strengths? Which home will allow this puppy to become the best version of itself? Sometimes the answer becomes wonderfully obvious. Other times it takes longer. We never rush this process. One of my favorite moments comes immediately after an evaluation wraps up. The forms are complete, the scribes have finished taking notes, and then comes the question, what can we do to help this puppy become even better? That single question changes everything. Instead of viewing temperament as something fixed in stone, we begin seeing endless possibilities. Every puppy leaves the evaluation with a story already unfolding. Our responsibility is simply to help write the next chapter wisely. A temperament evaluation does not predict the future. It helps us prepare for it. The temperament evaluation is not the end of a puppy's journey, it is the beginning. The observations gathered during testing provide a personalized roadmap for shaping each puppy's continued growth. Rather than forcing every pup down a one-size-fits-all path, this process allows breeders and owners to celebrate individual strengths while thoughtfully supporting areas that are still developing. Temperament is the starting point. Every puppy enters with unique innate tendencies. Some naturally seek human connection above all else. Others are captivated by toys and movement. Some march up to novel objects with instant boldness. Others prefer to pause, observe, and gather information first. None of these tendencies are flaws to be fixed. They are simply the starting point for development. Training works best when it builds upon who the puppy already is. Yet, some traits are more flexible than others. While certain core tendencies remain relatively stable throughout life, others are remarkably adaptable when met with early, thoughtful socialization. For example, with object confidence, this will grow with gentle, positive, incremental exposure. With play and drive, this is strengthened through fun, interactive games with human partners. Problem-solving expands whenever a puppy is given opportunities to think independently and succeed. So, we build on natural strengths. It is tempting to focus solely on areas of hesitation, but real progress begins by leaning into a puppy's natural gifts. A toy-obsessed puppy can learn complex behaviors effortlessly through play. A highly social puppy finds the relationship itself rewarding and loves to work with people. A thoughtful observer excels when given time to process and solve puzzles independently. When an evaluation reveals a sensitive area, view it as an invitation to offer guided experiences rather than a setback. A puppy that hesitates around novel objects benefits from low pressure, curious exploration in varied, safe environments. A puppy with a brief attention span thrives with short, engaging training sessions ended on high notes. A puppy with higher sound or visual sensitivity benefits from gradual, positive desensitization rather than sudden, overwhelming exposure. After the evaluations, we design unique training and socialization goals for each puppy. These tailored exercises, that build confidence during the remaining weeks in the nest and beyond, are shared with the puppy's new owner. When we view an evaluation as a roadmap rather than a report card, training becomes more intuitive, expectations stay realistic, and the human-animal bond grows significantly stronger. And I'll say that again. When we view an evaluation as a roadmap rather than a report card, training becomes more intuitive, expectations stay realistic, and the human-animal bond grows significantly stronger. The best matches often occur when a puppy's natural tendencies complement the owner's personality and expectations. For example, a highly people-oriented puppy may thrive with an owner who enjoys daily training and close companionship. A thoughtful, independent puppy may appreciate a patient owner who allows time to investigate new situations. An energetic, toy-driven puppy may flourish in an active home that enjoys games, sports, or outdoor adventures. A calmer puppy may become a wonderful companion for a quieter household. The goal is not to change either the puppy or the owner. The goal is to recognize where they naturally fit together. Think beyond today. Puppies grow. Families change. Interests evolve. When making placement decisions, think beyond the first few weeks after the puppy goes home. For the relationship several years from now, we will ask, will this puppy enjoy the life this family hopes to share? Will this family appreciate the qualities this puppy naturally possesses? The best placements often become lifelong partnerships because they begin with long-term thinking. The ultimate goal of a temperament evaluation is not to identify the best puppy. It is to understand each puppy well enough to place it in the home where it is most likely to flourish. A successful placement benefits both the puppy and the family. When natural temperament and lifestyle complement one another, training becomes easier, communication improves, and the relationship often develops more naturally. Temperament evaluations are not about finding perfect puppies. There is no perfect puppy. Rather, temperament evaluations are about creating thoughtful partnerships. One of the greatest myths in puppy selection is that there is an ideal temperament. There isn't. The puppy that thrives in an active performance home may overwhelm a quiet, retired couple. The calm, observant puppy that becomes a treasured therapy dog may show little interest in competitive agility. Likewise, the bold, energetic puppy that delights a seasoned trainer may exhaust a first-time owner. Temperament is not a measure of quality. It is a measure of compatibility. It is very important to avoid rigid labels. The greatest risk in temperament evaluation is reducing a complex puppy to a single static word: the shy puppy, the dominant puppy, or the stubborn puppy. Real puppies are far richer than simplistic labels. Instead of asking, "What is this puppy?" ask, "What tendencies does this puppy consistently demonstrate?" That small shift encourages objective observation rather than premature judgment. We start with the innate baseline, which provides guidance on natural preferences and thresholds. Next is guided socialization, which shapes flexible traits like novel object confidence and sound recovery. Then, of course, is consistent training, which channels high drive, persistence, and social energy into constructive skills. The result is the mature character, or the ultimate outcome, where nature and thoughtful nurture meet. Remember, early temperament begins the conversation, early development and handling continue it. It is important to remember that temperament evaluations do not place puppies into boxes. They simply help us understand and celebrate the beautiful variety that exists within every single litter. One puppy may become a devoted therapy companion. Another may flourish on the agility course. Another may spend their happiest days curled quietly beside a loving owner. Each temperament tells a different story. Our privilege as breeders and evaluators is simply to discover it. Every temperament evaluation attempts to describe the subtle characteristics that make each puppy unique. These traits help us identify natural preferences, motivators, and behavioral tendencies. Traits are never judgments. They are objective observations that help us understand how a puppy naturally approaches the world. When viewed together, these individual assessments create a thoughtful, complete portrait of the puppy. So, what exactly is a temperament trait? A temperament trait is an innate behavioral tendency that appears consistently across different situations. Rather than measuring what a puppy has been taught, temperament traits describe how a puppy naturally responds to people, novel objects, physical challenges, unexpected surprises, and learning opportunities. Key traits evaluated include social attraction and biddability, confidence and environmental stability, curiosity and problem solving, persistence and activity focus, touch and sound sensitivity, and forgiveness and resilience. No single trait defines a puppy. Each contributes one essential piece to the larger picture. You see, traits exist on a continuum. Temperament is rarely a rigid either-or proposition. Most puppies fall somewhere along a spectrum between two extremes. A puppy may be thoughtfully curious rather than recklessly bold, or moderately independent rather than clingy or aloof, or even mildly cautious before stepping forward with confidence. These variations are completely normal. Recognizing where a puppy falls along the continuum allows for far more nuanced understanding than fitting them into artificial categories. Every trait has strengths. One of the greatest misconceptions in temperament evaluation is the belief that certain traits are inherently good while others are bad. In reality, every characteristic brings both unique gifts and distinct management needs. If the puppy has high persistence, it will likely excel in performance sports or scent work, but it will require a patient handler during everyday household training. If the puppy is thoughtful and cautious, it will take a few moments to gather information before acting. This puppy often grows into an exceptionally reliable, dependable adult. If the puppy demonstrates high social attraction and adores meeting new people and forming quick bonds, it may need extra work on focus when distractions are high. Appreciating these natural trade-offs allows us to honor each puppy as an individual rather than comparing personalities. Traits interact continuously. Temperament is never determined by a single characteristic in isolation. Traits work together to shape behavior. A confident puppy with high curiosity will march over to inspect a novel object immediately. A confident puppy with low curiosity may glance at the object and casually walk past it, not out of fear, but simply lack of interest. Two puppies can show similar confidence scores while expressing that confidence in completely different ways based on their secondary traits. Just as there is no perfect score, there is no perfect combination of temperament traits. Every pattern, brings strengths. Every pattern brings challenges. A highly persistent puppy may become an exceptional performance dog. That same persistence may prove exhausting for a first-time owner. A thoughtful, observant puppy may require a few extra moments before engaging, yet later develop into a remarkably steady therapy dog. So our role is not to rank puppies, but to recognize and appreciate the unique combination of characteristics that makes each puppy an individual. We notice the direction of change. The evaluation unfolds over time. Some puppies become increasingly relaxed and expressive as they settle into the environment. Others begin enthusiastically but fatigue as the evaluation progresses. Some remain remarkably consistent from beginning to end, so we observe whether the puppy changes. Sometimes the direction of change is just as informative as the behavior itself. We look for themes. Temperament often appears as recurring themes rather than isolated behaviors. Perhaps the puppy consistently investigated unfamiliar objects, recovered quickly after surprises, preferred people over toys, solved problems independently, remained thoughtful before acting, persisted despite challenges, maintained focus despite distractions, became increasingly confident throughout the evaluation. One observation may be coincidence. Repeated observations become temperament. We connect exercises that ask similar questions. Many exercises measure related qualities from different perspectives. For example, a puppy that confidently investigates the cookie tin, umbrella, obstacle course, and scary toy may demonstrate a consistent pattern of environmental confidence. A puppy that eagerly greets the evaluator, follows the stranger, enjoys interactive toy play, and readily returns during breeder recall may consistently seek human partnership. Another puppy may repeatedly pause, observe carefully, and then investigate. That thoughtful style may appear throughout the entire evaluation, even though every exercise is different. The strongest conclusions come from patterns that appear repeatedly. One of the advantages of a longer evaluation is the opportunity to observe change. Some puppies begin cautiously, but grow steadily more confident. Others start with great enthusiasm but tire as the evaluation continues. Still others remain remarkably consistent from beginning to end. These patterns often reveal as much as the individual exercises themselves. Observe not only what the puppy does, but how its behavior evolves throughout the evaluation. Every exercise in the evaluation contributes another piece to the puppy's story. By itself, no single score or observation fully describes temperament. The evaluator's task is to step back and look beyond individual exercises to discover the larger patterns that emerge throughout the evaluation. It is these recurring themes, not isolated moments, that provide the clearest understanding of the whole puppy.
Celebrate what makes them true. There's no other one like you. So watch with curiosity, train with love and consistency. Every puppy has a story to unfold. Read the dog that's right before you, and you'll discover treasure more than gold.